Good morning, everyone. My name is Abhay Singh, and I welcome you all in today's video analysis of the Hindu. So, we'll start with the first news headline for the day. And before starting today's news analysis, I'd like to inform you that there have been some kind of technical error with the camera. So, you won't be able to see my face in today's video analysis. So, I hope you won't mind that. We will start with the first news headline for the day, and the first news headline is related to the visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to the war-affected country, Ukraine. So basically, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has reached Ukraine from Poland. So we couldn't have news analysis yesterday. So first of all, we will see few facts about the Poland because this whole international visit or this whole bilateral visit started uh, with the visit of Poland. So we'll write a few facts about Poland. So Poland. So the capital of Poland is Warsaw. Currencies Polish zloty. President Andrzej Duda. Prime Minister Donald Tusk. The diplomatic relations between India and Poland were established in 1954, and subsequently India opened its embassy in Warsaw in 1957. So these are few important facts about Poland which you have to remember. The capital of Poland is Warsaw. The currency of Poland is Polish zloty. The Prime Minister is Donald Tusk. The President is Andrzej Duda, and the diplomatic relations of India and Poland were established in 1954, whereas India opened its embassy in 1957 in Warsaw. So these are the few important facts about Poland. Now let's discuss about the specific visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which was scheduled recently. So not neutral India on the side of peace, says Prime Minister Modi in Ukraine. So after visiting Ukraine, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has clearly stated that India is not taking the side of any specific country, that is Russia, but India is not neutral. India is on the side of peace. When when Indian Prime Minister visited Russia, uh, in Russia, the statement of Prime Minister was pretty clear that we only want peace. Now, the same statement has been repeated in Ukraine, where Prime Minister has stated that he is in the favor of peace. Now, this is one important news that we'll discuss. Now, the second important news that is important for us is to understand that Mr. Anil Ambani and 24 others have been banned by the Securities and Exchange Board of India, and they have been fined 624 crore rupees. The SEBI order details the irregularities in the functioning of certain key managerial personnel of Reliance Home Finance Limited (RHFL). The company was systematically stripped of its asset on instructions from Anil Ambani. So basically, there have been certain serious allegations on Mr. Anil Ambani that he has siphoned the money from his company RHFL, Reliance Home Finance Limited, and he has been banned. He has been banned from participating in any activities of the market. The Securities and Exchange Board of India has restrained Reliance ADA Group Chairman Anil Ambani and 24 others from accessing the securities market and prohibited them from buying and selling securities for 5 years for their alleged involvement in diversion of funds from RHFL, which was promoted a group company of Reliance Capital Limited. So basically, along with Mr. Anil Ambani, 24 other people have been banned by Securities and Exchange Board of India for 5 years. They will not participate in any buying and selling of securities for 5 years. They have been fined for 624 crore rupees, and mainly the allegations that have been leveled by the SEBI are that they have basically they have diverted the fund from the RHFL, which is a main company or which is promoted by Reliance Capital Limited. So Anil Ambani की एक कंपनी थी जो RHFL Reliance Housing and Finance Limited की जो Reliance Home Finance Limited की जो प्राइम प्रमोटर कंपनी थी Reliance Capital Limited, इसने बहुत सारा फंड साइफन किया है, एक जगह से दूसरी जगह इलीगली ट्रांसफर किया है. तो अब हम लोग पहुंचेंगे थर्ड इंपॉर्टेंट न्यूज हेडलाइन जो आज की डेट की है. उस पर आप पहुंचेंगे। अभी जो 9 अगस्त 2024 को अनफॉर्चुनेट इवेंट हुआ आरजीकर हॉस्पिटल कोलकाता में, उसको लेकर के जो पैन इंडिया प्रोटेस्ट चल रहा है वो अभी भी कंटिन्यूड है। उसको लेकर अभी लेटेस्ट कोई अपडेट नहीं है। अभी हम स्टेट सेक्टर में एंटर कर रहे हैं, और स्टेट सेक्टर में जाने से पहले आई वुड लाइक टू टेल यू that there have been no important information in the state sector. We have certain important issues to deal with. One, and this is related to this K Hema committee report which was submitted by K Hema to the Kerala government. So after the report was submitted, now Kerala State Human Rights Commission has raised serious concerns over the alleged right violation in the Malayalam film industry flagged by the K Hema committee report released on Monday. So after this report was released by K Hema committee, various serious allegations have been leveled by the actresses who are working in the Malayalam film industry, and this particular attack. Now these particular allegations were certainly some direct. There have been some direct nexus between the allegations made by the women workers and the condition of the Malayalam film industry. This particular committee, K Hema committee, was a three-member committee which was constituted by the government to suggest reform in the Malayalam film industry, and not only reforms but actually the current working conditions of a specific gender. So basically, after this report was submitted, there was a statement by the Chief Minister of Kerala that if anyone who has given a statement in front of the committee, if they want to file a formal complaint for the same, then they can file a formal complaint for the same, and the state government will take the strictest possible action. Now, the second news is basically the visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Ukraine. This particular visit is really important. Prime Minister Narendra Modi reached to Ukraine on 23rd of August 2024, and after reaching there, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has clearly, informed Volodymyr Zelensky that India is not neutral. India is taking the side of peace, and he also suggested that when he met Russian President Vladimir Putin last month, he has also requested that this war should be ended as soon as possible, because this war was started in February 2022. There the more than 30 months have passed, but this war is still going on. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi has requested both the countries that this war should be put to an end as soon as possible. Now, Kaveri body seeks center nods to conduct environment assessment. So we have seen this particular news headline a few more times. We have already seen this particular news headline few times. So we will see what is the latest update. So, seeking to revive the issue of clearance for the Meghtadu Balancing Reservoir cum Drinking Water Project, Karnataka's Kaveri Niravari Nigam Limited (CNNL) Kaveri Niravari Nigam Limited has approached the Union Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change for approval of the terms of reference for conducting an environment impact assessment and drawing up environment management plan. So basically, the CNNL Kaveri Niravari Nigam Limited has approached to the Union Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change seeking approval for the terms of references for conducting an environment impact assessment (EIA). इन्वायरमेंट इम्पैक्ट असेसमेंट जो कंडक्ट करने की डिमांड है, ये CNNL कावेरी नीरावरी निगम लिमिटेड ने यूनियन मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ इन्वायरमेंट से किया है। और ये क्यों अभी ये लोग क्यों इन्वायरमेंट इम्पैक्ट असेसमेंट करना चाहते हैं, क्योंकि ये लोग बेसिकली क्लियरेंस चाह रहे हैं एक प्रोजेक्ट के। उस प्रोजेक्ट का नाम क्या है? मेघाडाटू बैलेंसिंग रिजर्वायर कम ड्रिंकिंग वाटर प्रोजेक्ट. So for this specific project, this CNNL Kaveri Niravari Nigam Limited has approached Union Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change so that they can conduct an environment impact assessment, and this project can be started quickly. अब अभी ये लोग डिमांड कर रहे हैं, जो इन लोगों की इन्वायरमेंट इम्पैक्ट असेसमेंट करने की डिमांड है, और जो जिन टर्म्स ऑफ अप्रूवल को या जिन टर्म ऑफ रेफरेंस को ये अप्रूव करने की बात कर रहे हैं, CNNL कर रहा है, ये बेसिकली जो रिक्वेस्ट है ये 6 ईयर से पेंडिंग है। किसके पास में? गवर्नमेंट के पास में। ठीक है, now we'll start with the next important news headline. We all know that Election Commission of India has announced the general elections for the Jammu and Kashmir State Assembly. The election will begin on 18th of September and will conclude on 1st of October 2024. The elections will be conducted in three phases, and the due date was that was given by the deadline which was given by the Supreme Court of India was 30th September 2024. That before 30th September 2024, it is the responsibility of Election Commission of India that elections should be conducted in Jammu and Kashmir. So after the announcement was made, there have been various kind of statements, and the this preparation, election preparation has been started by various political parties. So now we will see some kind of statement made by the respective leaders, by the leaders of their respective parties. So now national conference is basically demanding that they have they are saying that once they come to power, they will restore Article 370, and also they have demanding, national conference is demanding a separate flag for Jammu and Kashmir. So this is one important news. Now Delhi court denies bail for owners of coaching center basement where student drowned. So this was a civic apathy which took place in Old Rajinder Nagar, where three students have lost their life after they drowned in the basement of a coaching institute. And in that particular case, this Rose Avenue Court of Delhi has rejected the bail application of the four co-owners of the basement. And so this is a kind of good news for us, but that the court is taking their own time. Court is taking its own course before taking any hasty decision. Now, after this sexual harassment case from Maharashtra, now the Union Education Ministry has issued a guideline, not exactly issued the guidelines, that they have basically directed all the states to implement school safety guidelines as soon as possible. In view of protest over the alleged sexual assault on two 4-year-old girls at a school in Badlapur near Mumbai last week, the Union Education Ministry has directed all states and UTs to implement its guidelines to ensure safety and security of children in schools. So basically now after this particular case in Badlapur, Maharashtra, now the Union Education Ministry has asked all the state government to implement the school safety guidelines as soon as possible, and also the ministry has sought the kind of what is the current status of the implementation, because the ministry has issued these guidelines in 2021 in accordance with the POXO Act, Protection of Children Against the Sexual Offences Act. So these guidelines were issued in 2021 in consonance with POXO Act. So now basically the central government has also demanded a kind of status report कि इस 2020 लाइन के 2021 की जो guidelines थी, इनको किस लेवल तक अभी इम्प्लीमेंट कर दिया गया है, इसका स्टेटस रिपोर्ट चाहिए. और दूसरा इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेटमेंट क्या हुआ है कि सारे ही जितने भी स्टेट्स और यूटीज़ हैं इंडिया में, उनको ये स्कूल सेफ्टी गाइडलाइंस एज सून एज पॉसिबल इम्प्लीमेंट करना होगा. एंड दीज स्कूल सेफ्टी गाइडलाइंस वर इन द कॉन्सोनेंट विद पॉक्सो एक्ट, प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ चिल्ड्रन अगेंस्ट सेक्सुअल ऑफेंसेस एक्ट के कॉन्सोनेंस में बनाई गई थी ये गाइडलाइंस, जिन्हें अब बहुत जल्द से जल्द इम्प्लीमेंट करना है. और 2021 में ये गाइडलाइंस इशू की गई थी, और उसके बाद अभी तक का क्या प्रोग्रेस है, इसको लेकर के भी एक सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने एक स्टेटस रिपोर्ट डिमांड किया है. नाउ विल मूव टू द नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट न्यूज़ हेडलाइन फॉर द डे, एंड दिस इज बेसिकली रिलेटेड टू द inflated मार्क्स इन एग्जामिनेशन ऑफ क्लास 10th एंड 12th. सो बोर्ड एग्जामिनेशन में जो मार्क्स को इन्फ्लेट किया जा रहा है, उस चीज़ को लेकर के आर्टिकल है. इन इस पर्टिकुलर एक्ट का जो कॉन्सिक्वेंस होगा वो क्या होगा, इसके जो लॉन्ग टर्म इम्पैक्ट क्या होंगे वो क्या होंगे, एंड वी विल लुक इनटू सम फैक्चुअल डेटा एज वेल. School boards in India are often accused of initiating the marks of students in class 10 and 12 in the board examination. So basically, Indian boards are often accused that they inflate the class 10th and 12th board examination marks. जो class 10th और 12th के board examination होते हैं, उनमें basically marks को inflate करके बढ़ा करके दिखाया जाता है. There are 42 boards conducting board examination for class 10 and 12th. So in India there are 42 various boards which conduct class 10th and 12th examinations in India, and the aggregate pass percentage for class 10th student was 85% and class 12th student was 82% in 2023. The percentage of students securing more than 60% marks were around 61% in class 10th and 56% in class 12th. So, the next important data that in 2023 in India, more than 61% of students who have passed class 10th have secured more than 60% marks, and 56% student who have passed class 12th exam has secured more than 60% marks in their examination. So basically now the another important thing, another important phenomena that has been discussed by the author of this particular article, जो एक particular level पे जाने के बाद एक cluster create हो जाता है, एक झुंड basically create हो जाता है जिनके numbers almost सबके similar रहते हैं. एक certain कोई ऐसा criteria होता है. Most of the marks clustering at the higher level is known as mark compression. So what is this mark compression? कि एक जो higher percentage होता है, suppose we take this example 85%. सो 85 से 90% के बीच में जो बहुत ज़्यादा भीड़ इकट्ठा हो जाएगी, तो उसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, जो उस मार्क क्लस्टरिंग को जो बहुत हायर लेवल पे होती है उसको हम लोग बोलते हैं मार्क कंप्रेशन. मार्क इन्फ्लेशन एंड मार्क कंप्रेशन नॉट ओनली अंडरमाइन द क्रेडिबिलिटी ऑफ आवर एजुकेशन सिस्टम बट ऑल्सो हैम्पर द प्रॉस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ स्टूडेंट एज दे आर नॉट एडिक्वेटली प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर हायर एजुकेशन और द जॉब मार्केट. सो बेसिकली दिस क्लास 10th and 12th examination, the marks of class 10th and 12th are, in India, why the relevancy of class 10th and 12 marks is not so great? But because the only reason why why the marks are not relevant for class 10th and 12th, because our education system is such that everybody in India knows that the marks of class 10th and 12th are, inflated, and also students do not possess or do not have enough skills to basically which can provide them with employment. In 2023, 1.55 crore students appeared for the class 12th examination, while 1.85 crore students appeared for the class 10th examination. The variation in pass percentage across At the same time, the variation in the percentage of students scoring more than 60% is wide across school boards in both the secondary and higher education. Proportions of students scoring more than 60% marks were lower than national average in Assam, Bihar. So basically अब देखिए, अब हम इस आर्टिकल को एक साथ में कवर करेंगे और फिर देखेंगे क्या क्या इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ें हैं जिन्हें हमें डिस्कस करना है और क्या क्या इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ें हैं जिन्हें हमें स्किप करते हुए आगे निकलना है. अब देखिए, नाउ वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट marks are the clear representation of a student's hard work and also the kind of skill that particular student had. Now, usually the marks of the students are compared with some standardized test conducted at the national level to prove mark inflation in the board examination. Now, if you have to understand if we have to understand that whether the mark inflation will return or not, then we can have this simple exercise that we should conduct a standardized test at national level. अगर हम एक standardized test national level पे conduct करेंगे तो जो across various boards and states जो लोग students appear होते हैं exam में, तो सब एग्ज़ाम में क्या होता है, डिफ़िकल्टी लेवल अलग अलग होता है, अलग तरीके के क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाते हैं, अलग तरीके से फॉर्मेटिंग होती है चेकिंग करने की, इवेलुएट करने की. तो इन सारी चीज़ों को फेस करके बच्चे अलग अलग तरीके से मार्क्स स्कोर करते हैं. अगर कोई कॉमन स्टैंडर्डाइज टेस्ट हो जाएगा तो जितने भी लोग हैं, जितने भी लोग क्लास 10th और 12th के एग्जामिनेशंस में अपेयर होते हैं, उनको बेसिकली जज करने का, उन्हें टेस्ट करने का एक कॉमन क्राइटेरिया हम क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. अभी क्या है कि समवन इज फ्रॉम सीबीएसई बोर्ड, समवन इज फ्रॉम यूपी बोर्ड, समवन इज फ्रॉम आईसीएसई बोर्ड, समवन इज फ्रॉम बिहार बोर्ड, समवन इज फ्रॉम झारखंड बोर्ड, right? So basically everybody is coming from a different background. Now if they have to, like, if they want to compare, if they want to test whether where they are standing, then they should, then there should be some standardized test कि इन अलग अलग जगह से लोग अगर जब निकल के एग्जामिनेशंस दे करके आएंगे तो वो फिर बाद में कोई कॉमन एग्जाम देंगे और उस कॉमन एग्जाम में बेसिकली पता चल पाएगा, जो एक स्टैंडर्ड एग्जाम होगा, कि करंट स्टेटस एक्चुअली में क्या है. ठीक है, वी हैव फ्यू नेशनल लेवल टेस्ट सच एज, अभी इंडिया में ऑलरेडी ऐसे कुछ टेस्ट हैं. नीट का हो गया, जेई का एग्ज़ाम हो गया, सीयूईटी एग्ज़ाम आफ्टर क्लास 12th, ये सारी चीज़ें हो गई. सो बेसिकली क्या होता है, आप क्लास 10th 12th के एग्जामिनेशन देने के बाद आप इन एग्जामिनेशंस की अलग से प्रिपरेशन करते हैं. ठीक है, अब दूसरी एक इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ रखिए, और ये जो सारे एग्जाम्स होते हैं, ये नीट का एग्जाम हो गया, जेई का एग्जाम हो गया, फॉर दैट पर्पज दिस यूईटी कॉमन यूनिवर्सिटी एंट्रेंस टेस्ट, ये सारे किस लिए होते हैं? दीज टेस्ट आर कंडक्टेड बेसिकली टू एलिमिनेट द स्टूडेंट्स बिकॉज द नंबर ऑफ सीट्स आर वेरी limited. The number of seats are very limited. That's why these tests are conducted, so that the talented or the students who are hardworking, they can pass this particular examination, and they can basically go ahead in the next phase of their lives. फिर ऐसा होता है तो एक और चीज़ सिचुएशन सामने आ जाती है, then and it is not necessary that if a student has scored 97%, then he will perform सेम इन दीज नेशनल लेवल एंट्रेंस टेस्ट, ऐसा ज़रूरी नहीं है। ठीक है, अब एक चीज़ और देख लीजिए। अभी तक क्या है कि एनसीईआरटी एक स्टैंडर्डाइज टेस्ट कंडक्ट करता है, और उस टेस्ट वो बेसिकली जो टेस्ट होता है वो एक बड़े प्रोजेक्ट का पार्ट रहता है, और उस प्रोजेक्ट का नाम है नेशनल अचीवमेंट सर्वे। जो ये बेसिकली एनसीईआरटी जो एक स्टैंडर्डाइज टेस्ट कंडक्ट करवाती है, ये नेशनल अचीवमेंट सर्वे के अंडर कंडक्ट करवाती है। और इसमें बेसिकली हर एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट से कुछ हज़ार बच्चे या कुछ थाउजेंड बच्चे पार्टिसिपेट करते हैं इस स्टैंडर्डाइज टेस्ट में जो सीबीएसई कंडक्ट करवाती है। ठीक है, this is a standard test, and the NCERT uses item response theory to statistically estimate the scores of each student in 5 subjects. अब ये standardized test जो होता है नेशनल अचीवमेंट सर्वे प्रोजेक्ट के अंडर में, ये 5 सब्जेक्ट्स में होता है: इंग्लिश, मैथ, साइंस, सोशल साइंस एंड regional language. Though it is a scientifically designed study, its academic character is overwhelming to deduce any policy suggestion. There is little scope to connect the estimated scores of students with the curriculum design of different boards and efficiency of schools, among other factors that influence teaching and learning in schools. The National Achievement Survey also fails to serve as a benchmark for studying the possible mark inflation offered by the school boards. Now, अब जो ये नेशनल अचीवमेंट सर्वे, द नेशनल अचीवमेंट सर्वे विच वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट, basically there are various factors which affect the marks of a student, and these factors are the curriculum, the design of the curriculum, the board, the efficiency of schools they are studying in. So these are the various parameters on which the marks of a students vary. And this national achievement survey is a standard test, but this national achievement survey does not clearly is not able to tackle the problem of mark inflation, because standardized this is something different, and the marks which are inflated are something different. So these are two different things we have to understand, कि जो marks को inflate किया जाता है, this is altogether a different thing. तो अब अगर इस आर्टिकल का हम ओवरऑल इंपॉर्टेंस देखें तो बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है। वी ऑल नो कि हमारे कंट्री में क्लास 10th और 12th में किस तरीके का एजुकेशन इम्पार्ट किया जाता है, जिसका प्रैक्टिकल वैल्यू ऑलमोस्ट या इक्वल टू ज़ीरो होता है। आई एम अ लॉ ग्रेजुएट, and I don't find any relevance. I don't find if there was any relevance of the things which I have studied in class 10th and 12th. So basically ये सारी चीज़ें हैं जिनकी बात की जा रही है इस पर्टिकुलर आर्टिकल में। और दूसरा एक इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ और जो ऑथर ये कहना चाह रहा है कि जो स्टैंडर्डाइज असेसमेंट सिस्टम में क्या बेसिकली करना चाहिए डिफरेंट बोर्ड्स को, कि उन्हें अपने सिस्टम को थोड़ा सा ट्रांसपेरेंट करना चाहिए। बोर्ड्स, various examination boards should make their system transparent. Currently the system is opaque. Now right from the beginning, at the point where the question papers were framed till the publication of result, everything should be transparent and crystal clear. The students guidebook should be published on how learning outcomes are tested and marks awarded in examination. So various methods have been suggested by the author, that what kind of things could be done by various authorities to tackle the problem of mark inflation. सो बेसिकली सबसे पहला तो ट्रांसपेरेंट सिस्टम की बात की गई। दिस ट्रांसपेरेंट एजुकेशन सिस्टम, हम क्वेश्चन पेपर सेट होने से लेकर के मार्क्स के पब्लिकेशन तक सारी चीज़ों को ट्रांसपेरेंट रखेंगे। वी शुड पब्लिश अ गाइड बुक। उस गाइड बुक में बेसिकली ये लिखा होना चाहिए कि हाउ यू शुड अप्रोच द क्वेश्चंस, एग्जामिनेशन में पैटर्न क्या होगा, मार्क्स किस बेसिस पे मिलेंगे। दीज थिंग्स शुड बी पब्लिश्ड इन अ हैंड आउट और इन अ हैंड बुक। इससे होगा क्या कि स्टूडेंट्स विल गेट टू नो कि ये सारी चीज़ें होती हैं और एक स्टैंडर्ड पैरामीटर है जिन पे उन्हें टेस्ट किया जाता है। राइट नाउ इन इंडिया स्टूडेंट डज नॉट नो, जो बोर्ड के एग्जाम्स देते हैं, कि उनकी जो एक्चुअल इवैल्यूएशन होता है वो किस तरीके से होता है। दे आर नॉट अवेयर अबाउट दिस पर्टिकुलर फैक्ट. So this was this particular article. Except this, I guess there's nothing important in this article. National achievement survey, we have seen what are the steps that we have to take. What is the mark inflation? We have already seen that which states are performing, below average, national average. We have also seen that what is this mark compression. We have already seen this. What all the various methods we have already seen this. So academically, this particular article, for examination point of view, this particular article is not that relevant, but for uh, this entire development of country, this article is important. Now, 6 weeks after his visit to Moscow, Prime Minister Narendra Modi trip to Kyiv and meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Friday was largely seen as an exercise in balancing India's position on Russia-Ukraine war since Russia's first invaded Ukraine in February 2022. So last month, Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Russia, and after 43 days, he is visiting basically. After 43 days, he is visiting Ukraine. अब देखिए दोनों ही जगह पे प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी हैड अ वेरी क्लियर स्टैंड दैट ही इज नॉट सपोर्टिंग any kind of war. He is in the favor that there should be some peace. Now Ukraine has a long standing problem, not a long standing problem, but they have certain kind of allegations against India that when Ukraine went on war with Russia, then it was India who has purchased a lot of crude oil from Russia at discounted price. So now this particular thing has been explained to the president of Ukraine that given the current geopolitical situation does not allow India, and the current market structure does not allow India or does not favor India to import oil from any other country. It is beneficial for Indian economy and the people of India that India is purchasing its crude oil from Russia. So now this particular thing have been explained to Ukraine, and also Ukraine was not happy that India did not invite Ukraine in 2023 जब इंडिया ने G20 समिट को होस्ट किया था. So उसमें यूक्रेन को इनवाइट नहीं किया गया था. This was also a complaint of Ukraine. Now let's move to the next important article. अभी इंडिया में this article is important. Uh, by 2047, we have now the government of India has set a target that by 2047 we will become a developed nation. We will become a developed nation, Viksit Bharat. So basically, this particular phrase Viksit Bharat 2047 and this Amrit Kal, these are the three important key terms. Amrit Kal is basically this 2022 to 2047. This is basically Amrit Kal. Now, under this particular article, various statistics have been compared to depict the clear picture of the Indian agriculture. How many people are participating in Indian agriculture, and what is the exact contribution of Indian agriculture in the GDP of India. So let's start this article. India's agriculture sector. India's centennial year of independence is still away in 2047, but the goal of becoming a developed nation looms large. Achieving this requires a significant increase in per capita gross national income at about 6 times the current level. So this particular article started with a proposition कि इंडिया 2047 तक एक डेवलप नेशन बनना चाहता है और हमारे 100 साल भी पूरे हो जाएंगे 2047 में इंडिपेंडेंस को. बट अगर हमें डेवलप्ड नेशन बनना है देन वी हैव टू इंक्रीज द ग्रॉस नेशनल इनकम फॉर अबाउट 6 टाइम्स. अगर हमें एक डेवलप्ड नेशन बनना है इन नेक्स्ट 23 years वी हैव टू इंक्रीज अ ग्रॉस पर कैपिटा नेशनल इनकम बाय 6 times. Transforming Indian agriculture depends on adopting sustainable practices that ensures long-term productivity and environment health. So now sustainability, the concept of sustainability all has introduced in almost each and every aspect. So इसमें भी introduce कर दिया गया. सस्टेनेबल मेथड्स को अप्रोच करना है. अब देखिए सस्टेनेबल मेथड्स को अप्रोच करना है और इसके लिए फिर एक नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ क्या है, एक इंपॉर्टेंट स्कीम को डिस्कस किया गया. प्रधानमंत्री किसान कृषि सिंचाई योजना. प्रधानमंत्री कृषि सिंचाई योजना PMKSY has covered 78 lakh hectares promoting water use efficiency through micro irrigation. The scheme's 93,068 crore allocation for 2021-26 scores the government's commitment to sustainable water management. So basically government is investing a lot of money for the sustainable development so that we can achieve first the sustainable development goals target by 2030. Next we can become a carbon neutral country by 2070. So इन सारी चीज़ों की वजह से इंडिया सस्टेनेबल मेथड्स में बहुत ज़्यादा सस्टेनेबल टेक्नोलॉजीज में बहुत ज़्यादा इन्वेस्ट कर रहा है. इंडिया का अभी जो करंट एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर है उसको बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस फेस करने पड़ रहे हैं. वी ऑल नो एंड व्हाट आर दीज चैलेंजेस. बेसिकली द क्लाइमेट चेंज, लैंड डिग्रेडेशन. यू आर कॉन्टिन्यूसली growing same crop again and again. So basically that lead to the land degradation and market access issue. So basically in India, majority of the farmers does not have the market access. Why? Because they are very small farmers. They are very small farmers. They do not have sufficient produce to take the produce to the market, because the actual cost will be higher. So these are the problems. जो छोटे किसान हैं वो मंडी तक पहुंच नहीं पा रहे हैं, क्योंकि उनका प्रोड्यूस इतना कम है कि अगर वो मंडी जाना भी चाहें तो उनका जो एक्चुअल में कॉस्ट आएगा वो जितना प्रॉफिट होगा उससे ज़्यादा होगा। तो कई बार किसान ये चीज़ सोच के मंडी जाते ही नहीं है। नाउ द प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा योजना इंट्रोड्यूस्ड इन 2016 provides financial assistance to 49.5 introduced in 2016, provides financial assistance for crop losses with 49.5 crore farmers enrolled and claims totaling over rupees 1.45 lakh crore. So now the next important scheme that have been introduced for the farmers is the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. It was introduced in 2016, and as of now 495 million farmers have registered or enrolled for the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, and they have claimed a total amount of 1.45 lakh crore. Now there's been a lot of imbalance in India, and what is that basically imbalance? That in India, nearly 46% of India's working population is engaged in the agriculture sector, whereas the contribution of this specific sector into the GDP is only 18%. So the actual workers participation is 46%, but the GDP contribution is only 18%. So this particular fact signifies a high imbalance between the workers and input and the output. If current growth trends continue, this disparity will worsen. While overall GDP has grown at 6.1% annually since 1991-1992, agriculture GDP lags at 3.3%. Under the Narendra Modi administration, overall GDP growth was 5.9% and agriculture grew at 3.6%. So these are kind of scary facts, that from 2024 or 2014 onwards, our country is growing at a pace of 5.9%, whereas this agriculture sector is growing at 3.6%. So basically what this particular fact is suggesting कि over the period of time जो एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर का डेवलपमेंट है वो कंट्री के डेवलपमेंट के साथ कदम से कदम मिला करके नहीं चल पा रहा है। अब इस कदम से कदम ना चल पाने की वजह से दिक्कतें क्या क्या होंगी? By 2047 एग्रीकल्चर शेयर इन जीडीपी माइट श्रिंक टू 7 to 8%। अब सबसे बड़ा इम्पैक्ट क्या होगा कि by 2047 this the contribution from agriculture sector in GDP will come down to 8%. This will be the first major drawback. Yet it could still employ over 30% of the workforce. And even after contributing only 7 to 8% in our GDP, this particular sector will employ 30% of India's workforce. The expected 7.6% overall GDP growth for 2023-24 is promising. However, the agri GDP's anemic growth of 0.7% primarily due to unseasonal rain is alarming. So in 2023-24, the expected growth was 7.6%, but GDP expected growth of GDP was 7.6%, whereas agri GDP का जो growth है वो कितना 0.7% है। Now let's understand the population dynamics. Population के dynamics को भी समझ लेते हैं. By 2030, India will have a population of 1.5 billion, and by 2040, we'll be having a population of 1.59 billion, 159 crore. Following the agriculture challenges, meeting the food requirement of this burgeoning population will imperative. Now जब ये पॉपुलेशन बढ़ेगी तो इनकी फूड रिक्वायरमेंट्स को भी फुलफिल करना एक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होगी. With an estimated expenditure elasticity of food at 0.45, the demand of food is expected to grow by approximately 2.85% annually, considering the population growth rate of 0.85%. So with every passing day, the population of country will grow, and as the population of this country will grow, the people will need more food to survive. So उसकी भी डिमांड्स हमारी बढ़ेंगी. अब देखिए गवर्नमेंट ने क्या इनिशिएटिव लिए हैं इस पर्टिकुलर सिचुएशन को सॉल्व करने के लिए. सो प्रधानमंत्री किसान सम्मान निधि. नाउ व्हाट इज दिस प्रधानमंत्री किसान सम्मान निधि? दैट गवर्नमेंट every year government will transfer 6,000 rupees in the accounts of the farmers in 3 installments में ये फंड्स डिपॉजिट किए जाते हैं. 6,000 रुपीज़ एनुअली डिपॉजिट किए जाते हैं. 2,000 रुपीज़ की 3 इंस्टॉलमेंट्स होती हैं. एक ये स्कीम है जिसे डिस्कस किया गया. ठीक है, फिर इसके बाद सिंचाई योजना है, प्रधानमंत्री सिंचाई योजना, प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा योजना, एग्रीकल्चर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर फंड 1 लाख करोड़ रुपीज़ का जिससे सेटअप किया गया। तो बहुत सारी स्कीम्स जो गवर्नमेंट ने स्टार्ट की। बस अब एक चीज़ ये देखना है कि जितने लोग एक्चुअली में पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर में, सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम तो ये है कि जितने लोग एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर में पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं उतना ज़्यादा कंट्रीब्यूशन नहीं है सेक्टर का। दूसरी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ कि जिस पेस से हमारी कंट्री ग्रो कर रही है उस पेस से एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर ग्रो नहीं कर रहा है। हमारे पास सस्टेनेबल मेथड्स नहीं है एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर में। वाटर वेस्टेज कितना होता है इंडिया में, या वाटर ड्रिवन क्रॉप्स कितनी हम इंडिया में प्रोड्यूस करते हैं। और इन सब चीज़ों के अलावा इंडिया की पॉपुलेशन, इंडिया इज़ द मोस्ट पॉपुलेटेड कंट्री इन द वर्ल्ड। 2030 तक हमारी कंट्री में 150 करोड़ लोग होंगे और 2040 तक हमारी कंट्री में 159 करोड़ लोग होंगे। सो जैसे जैसे टाइम आगे बढ़ेगा, लोग आगे बढ़ेंगे, तो हमारा क्या होगा, फूड की रिक्वायरमेंट भी बढ़ेगी। ठीक है, तो उस रिक्वायरमेंट को फुलफिल करने के लिए अगेन एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर हैज़ टू कम इन फ्रंट। फिर उसके बाद गवर्नमेंट के कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट इनिशिएटिव हैं, प्रधानमंत्री सम्मान निधि, किसान सम्मान निधि जिसे 2019 में लॉन्च किया गया था। फिर सिंचाई योजना, फसल बीमा योजना, इंटरनेशनल ईयर ऑफ मिलेट डिक्लेयर किया गया था 2023 को। तो ये सारे स्कीम्स हैं, इनका कैसे इन स्कीम्स का कैसे कंट्रीब्यूशन रहने वाला है। फिर एक स्ट्रेटेजिक प्लानिंग, वी नीड अ प्रॉपर स्ट्रेटेजिक प्लानिंग टू एग्जीक्यूट थिंग्स। तो वो भी सारी चीज़ें हैं जो इंपॉर्टेंट हैं। अब हम आगे बढ़ेंगे और नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट कवर करेंगे। Now, this is important. The US has emerged as India's top trading partner during Jan to June this year. So, between January 2024 to June 2024, United States of America was the largest trading partner of India, and India has recorded its highest trade deficit with China at $41.6 billion. India has a trade deficit of $41.6 billion with China. It has imported total goods of $50.1 billion during January 2024 to June 2024, while it exported goods and services worth $8.5 billion only. So there is a trade deficit of $41.6 billion. United States of America has become the largest trading partner of India. China has the highest trade deficit with India. चाइना, इंडिया का सबसे ज़्यादा ट्रेड डिफिसिट किस कंट्री के साथ है, चाइना के साथ में। अब हम लोग के पास दो इंपॉर्टेंट न्यूज़ और हैं। कमला हैरिस हैज़ बिकम, नाउ इट इज़ ऑफिशियल दैट कमला हैरिस इज़ द प्रेसिडेंशियल कैंडिडेट ऑफ डेमोक्रेट्स। ये डेमोक्रेटिक पार्टी की रिप्रेजेंटेटिव है कमला हैरिस। शी इज़ 59 years old. शी इज़ कंटेस्टिंग फॉर द presidency of United States of America, and he is from Democratic Party. ऑफिशियल कैंडिडेट डिक्लेयर कर दिया गया है। और लास्ट जो लीडर थे जो बाइडेन, ही इज ऑल्सो फ्रॉम डेमोक्रेटिक पार्टी। Now the second important news that is coming all the way from Bangladesh, that India's policy towards Bangladesh completely failed, says Bangladesh Nationalist Party leader. Now why this particular statement is coming, that the government of Bangladesh had revoked the passport of Sheikh Hasina, and now basically they are demanding that India should hand over Sheikh Hasina to Bangladesh. But we are in no mood. And the second important thing why these BNP leaders are saying that India's policy has failed, because in 1971, it was India who favored the liberation of Bangladesh, and we also helped them. So तभी से क्या है कि India has a bit of soft corner for this Awami League, because at that particular time it was Awami League जो बांग्लादेश में पावर में थी. So at the end of the day, PNP leader feel that India had a soft corner for the leaders of Awami League. That's why they are not, handing over the former Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, to Bangladesh, even after revoking the passport of Sheikh Hasina. So this is one important news, which is important. Bangladesh got independence on 16th December 1971. Bangladesh got independence. Bangladesh is East Pakistan, so East Pakistan got independence from West Pakistan on 16th December 1971. And after getting independence from West Pakistan, East Pakistan became Bangladesh. Now the another controversial news that is coming all the way from Venezuela, where the Supreme Court of Venezuela has upheld the win of Venezuela's president निकोलास माडुरो। सो निकोलास माडुरो जब से इलेक्शंस जीते हैं, 28 जुलाई को इलेक्शंस हुए थे, इन पे बहुत सारे एलिगेशंस लगे हैं कि इन्होंने अनफेयर मीन्स का यूज़ किया है। बट वहाँ के सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने, वेनेजुला के सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने अभी निकोलस माडुरो के इलेक्शंस को एकदम फेयर डिक्लेयर किया और बोला है कि ये इलेक्शंस एकदम परफेक्टली वैलिड है। Now, Botswana discovered the world's second largest diamond. Now, this news is important. This can be asked, a massive 2,492 carat diamond, the second largest in the world, has been discovered in Botswana. The Canadian mining company that found the stone announced on Thursday. So basically, this Canadian mining company has found the second largest diamond in the world. The diamond is about 2,492 carats, so 2,492 carat diamond, which was founded by Canadian mining company Botswana. So remember this fact. इसके पहले जो सबसे बड़ा डायमंड है वो कितने कैरेट का? इट इज़ 3,16 कैरेट का है, जो 1905 में मिला था। स्पोर्ट्स सेक्शन से एक इम्पॉर्टेंट न्यूज़ है। नीरज चोपड़ा केम सेकंड इन डायमंड लीग लॉसेन। डायमंड लीग कंपटीशन चल रहा था लॉसेन स्विट्जरलैंड में, जहाँ पे नीरज चोपड़ा का रैंक सेकंड आया। इन्होंने 89.49 मीटर जैवलिन अपना फेंका, 89.49 मीटर, जो कि 0.4 मीटर ज़्यादा है ओलंपिक के थ्रो से इनका। फर्स्ट कौन आया इस कंपटीशन में? एंडरसन पीटर्स ने कितना थ्रो फेंका है? सो एंडरसन पीटर्स हैज़ thrown this javelin around 90.61 meters away. So फर्स्ट कौन है? एंडरसन पीटर्स डायमंड लीग लॉसेट में। सेकंड कौन है? नीरज चोपड़ा ने कितना फेंका है थ्रो? 89.49 मीटर। ठीक है। सो विद दिस वी हैव कंप्लीटेड द न्यूज़ एनालिसिस ऑफ 24th of August 2024. And if you like this particular analysis video, then do like our channel, do like this video and subscribe to our Success Mantra digital channel. And if you have any questions, then do punch in your questions in the comment section as well. And also one important suggestion, that please फॉलो दिस विजिट ऑफ प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी, जो यूक्रेन में भी विजिट हुई है, इसको फॉलो करिए। जब ये विजिट कंक्लूड होगा तो उस दिन हम लोग को जितने भी डेवलपमेंट हुए हैं उन सारे डेवलपमेंट्स को एक साथ देखेंगे और हम स्टार्ट करेंगे पोलैंड से। ठीक है। सो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वॉचिंग टुडेज वीडियो एनालिसिस। विद दिस वी विल रैप अप टुडेज सेशन। थैंक यू सो मच।